In just 35 seconds, we'll explore all the magic wonders of Fantasyland.
Deemed the happiest place on earth, Disneyland opened its doors on July 17, 1955. Since then, the park has become a place where people share childhood good memories and reminisce on nostalgia to the point where some never really grow out of it. Unfortunately, this is not the case for everyone. Behind the happiest place on earth lays a dark past. One attraction that contributes to Disney's dark past is Tom Sawyer's Island, an island built specifically in Walt Disney's vision. He said he wanted the place to be a self-guided experience that had spontaneous energy, which is why he incorporated Mark Twain's Huckleberry film as a foundation story for the island. Tom Sawyer's Island was opened to the public on June 16, 1956. The artificial island was and currently is surrounded by a river called the Rivers of America. Unfortunately, Walt's vision of the island for self-exploration and spontaneity became a reality on June 22, 1973, when Bogdan Dolorat, an 18-year-old Brooklyn resident, drowned trying to swim across the Rivers of America. Dolorat and his 10-year-old brother managed to stay on Tom Sawyer Island past closing time by climbing the fence separating the island from the burning settlers' cabin. When they decided to leave the island a few hours later, they chose to swim across the river rather than call for help from cast members. Because the younger brother did not know how to swim, Dolorat tried to carry him on his back as he swam to shore. Bogdan Dolorat went down about halfway across the river until he couldn't anymore, as the waters weren't meant for swimming. The younger boy remained afloat by dog paddling until a ride operator hauled him aboard a boat, but Bogdan was nowhere to be found. His body was not found until the next morning. Okay, now we fast forward 10 years later, and another tragic event happened. On June 4th, 1983, this time during a graduation event. On June 4th, 1983, an 18-year-old from Albuquerque, New Mexico, drowned in the Rivers of America during grad night. Strawn and a friend who were celebrating both their graduations and Strath's 18th birthday snuck into a cast members only area along the river and untied a maintenance raft. Both boys had intentions to take it for a joyride around the river. Unfortunately, the boys could not control the boat and struck a rock near Tom Sawyer's Island. Strawn was thrown into the water, so his friend traveled back to shore to seek for help, except Strawn drowned long before his body was finally found an hour later. The teenager's death would mark the 7th accidental death in the park's 27-year history, with Dolorat being the 3rd accidental death at Disneyland. Both 18-year-olds could have avoided these tragic fates. It's crazy how a decade later on the same month of June, another young man's life was cut short simply for being spontaneous and for exploring, which is sadly the true essence of what Walt wanted for the island. In 2007, the attraction was rethemed and expanded as Pirates Lair on Tom Sawyer Island. The island is still inspired by Mark Twain's The Adventures of Tom Sawyer, but this time also includes Disney's Pirates of the Caribbean, which features references and characters from both works. So the Bogdan Dolorat tragic event, that's actually one of the OG stories I heard as a kid when I was looking into my Disney trip. That particular death never left my mind, especially when I was walking around Frontierland and I saw the Rivers of America and Tom Sawyer Island. It never left my mind, man. And that was like around the 2000s, early 2000s. Just knowing that this innocent river once had all these tragic events take place. And I don't know. I just feel like as the years go by, I believe these attractions or locations, even if it's just an amusement park, it's still historical in a sense, and it still has a past, and they still been there for so long that I feel like they just start gaining all this energy from the past. And I don't know, I'm not gonna lie, it felt a little weird there, but I haven't been there in years, so it's probably different. But I just feel like it probably just stands for me knowing the past of what really happened. Maybe if I didn't even know, I probably wouldn't even second guess it. I wouldn't even think about it probably. Who knows though? I don't know. Every time I go to Vegas, those buildings have a weird vibe too. But I mean, I'm sure a lot more cynical things happen in Vegas, right? But either ways, both these young men lives were cut short. May their soul rest in peace. And honestly, I really hope they're not stuck at Disneyland eternally, because that would suck. Imagine. It's a small world after all. It's a small world after all. It's a small world. It's like hell. Imagine you're just like in the ride for eternity, just listening to that song over and over. It would suck ass. But yeah, that concludes this video. Let me know what you thought about it. Let me know if you guys know any other stories that you like that's very interesting to you. I'll probably just throw it in the next video, because I know a lot of us have gone to Disneyland. A lot of us have heard stories online, probably got into a rabbit hole or something, and that's what I'm here for, man. I love going to rabbit holes, and I'm sure a lot of you guys do too. Thank you.